Pyra likes to spend her time in the city, and by trying to paint her base in a way that matches her desires, I have found one of the best uses for a wet palette. The figure, one from a duo called Isobael and Rufus, comes with a cobblestone base, but it is too small. I used a 1-inch washer and green stuff to make the base of the appropriate size, 1 inch in diameter. I matched the lines between the cobblestones with the back of my knife and textured the green stuff with first a finger and then some aluminum foil rolled into a ball. Once the green stuff had cured, I used Mod Podge and black paint to seal the green stuff, to color it black, and to seal the edge between the washer and the green stuff. It filled in just enough of that tiny gap so that it was less visible. It also, I'm hoping, will allow the black paint on the edge of the base to stick better to the washer, as I have had trouble with that in the past. You can see the wet palette I used while painting Pyra in the background. In the foreground, I am painting the stones gray. But this is only an undercoat. I want the stones to look as playful as the character Pyra, who inhabits them. One difficulty with making a colorful base is to make sure that the base does not conflict with the color schemes in the character. That is why I'm using the leftover paint from the palette I used to paint Pyra. I selected several colors I had used while painting Pyra and painted 3 or 4 stones of each on the base. I have spent far too much time painting gray stone, and sometimes I find a way to liven it up with the use of small bits of metallic paint or some sort of other color from minerals that may make a small portion of the stone. But in this case, I want to have stones that are as colorful as the stories that we like to tell about these characters. Why should a town situated in a magical world pave its streets only with plain gray rock, when so many other colors of rock are available even in the natural, real world? Surely, a city as great as Waterdeep would have stones that the inhabitants could enjoy as they walked down the various thoroughfares and boulevards. Again, I am relying on the palette to help me with color choice. All of the colors here are present somewhere on Pyra, and so should not cause a great deal of stress to the eye when they occur again in the ground. I will be muting these colors by overbrushing them with some earth tones. I'm also relying on the idea that as I color purple stones, this is a magical world, and there should be an ample supply of purple stones. Can you imagine the strong stonemasons of a young city picking out from the pile of stones the one that will look best next to the one they have just set in the street? Some of the most colorful stones that I have seen in the real world come from the Grinnell Formation in the northern Rocky Mountains of the United States. These rocks are often red or green, depending on the oxidative state of the iron compounds in them. Painting any part of a miniature is a good time to think about the richness of the story world that you are creating as you tell your Dungeons & Dragons stories, or as you create the miniature landscapes and people that inhabit those stories. I gave them a dry brushing with a mixture of light brown and light gray. This serves not only to highlight the raised portions of each stone, but also to give them a more unified appearance. Although each stone has its unique geologic history, which is quite long, the recent history of all of these stones is shared, as they have seen the same bottoms of the same boots and the same treads on the same wagon wheels. I continued with an even lighter shade of gray and brown mixed for my next dry brushing. To dry brush everywhere and to highlight every edge of stone that I would wish to with my messy dry brush. So I took a more careful approach and used a fine tip brush that I would normally use for the model to edge highlight some of the stones. Finally, with all of the stones set in place and their distinct margins delineated by paint, I used Agrax Earthshade with a gloss finish to give the stones an appearance of being wet from a recent rain and having dirt caked in between them, left behind by all of those wagon wheels and footsteps. Now Pyra is ready to continue her adventures in the great city. Thank you for watching. If you have enjoyed this video, please consider hitting the like button. If you would like to see more videos about painting or creating stories through the use of crafted terrain, hit the subscribe button. And as always, thank you for your valor.